Welcome to our group presentation. First of all, let me introduce my group members. Our group members are Ang Sungi, Liao Li Ying, Engku Edlina Parisha, and lastly myself, Lin Xiaowei. Our title for assignment 1 is the effects of Korean wave towards USM main campus students. The term Korean wave, which is also known as Hallyu and Korean fever, refers to the popularity of Korean pop culture. Now, the Korean wave spread to not only Asia but to more global audience regardless races, age, and gender. According to statistics from DramaFever.com, people aged between 18 to 34 makes the highest proportion in watching K-drama. The popularity of Korean drama has been transformed into a strong preference for other Korean products like electronics, mobile phones, fashion, cosmetics, and food. According to Korean International Trade Association survey in 2011, 80% of respondents suggested that Korean wave influenced Korean product purchase. Thus, we intend to focus on the reasons why participants, USM main campus students, consume Korean products and how they relate to it. The investigation also explored how the Korean wave affects students' academic performance. The entire investigation is based on one question: how do students relate to the Korean wave impacts? Thus, our objective of our assignment are firstly to investigate the effect of Korean wave towards expenditure of USM main campus students. Secondly, to investigate the time spent on K-pop or K-drama of USM main campus students. Finally, to study the effect of Korean wave on academic performance of USM main campus students. We distributed our questionnaire randomly to 25 Universiti Sains Malaysia main campus students through social media. In this questionnaire, we prepared 9 questions tailored to our objective. Then, we undergo analysis using non-parametric tests with the assistance of MAT264.
Hello, I'm Engku Edlina and I'll be continuing with the related non-parametric tests that we have done to achieve the objectives of this project. Firstly, we have test of randomness. This test is carried out to test whether the respondents answer the questionnaire in a random order with respect to gender. The null hypothesis for this test is the gender of respondents is in a random order, while the alternative hypothesis is the gender of respondents is not in a random order. There are a few assumptions that we made, which are the data available is recorded in the order of their occurrence, which can be categorized into 2 mutually exclusive types, and the sample available is a random variable from population with unknown median. So after running the test in Minitab, we can see that 23 observations are above k-value and 2 observations are below k-value, and we get p-value equals to 0.618, which is more than alpha equals to 0.05. Therefore, H0 is not rejected and there is sufficient evidence to conclude that the respondents are in a random order with respect to gender. Next, we have Mann-Whitney test. This test is focusing on the spending habit based on gender. We are interested to compare the expenditure of female and male students from USM main campus on Korean brand products. The null hypothesis is the median expenditure of female and male students are equal, while the alternative hypothesis is the median expenditure of female students are more than the median expenditure of male students. For this test, the assumptions are the 2 samples are independent and the variable observed is a continuous random variable. And after using Minitab, we can see that the p-value is equals to 0.2115, which is higher than alpha equals to 0.05. So, again, H0 is not rejected and there is sufficient evidence to conclude that both female and male USM main campus students have the same spending habit on Korean brand products.
So, we use sign test also in this project. We use sign test to study the effect of Korean wave on the monthly expenses of the students on Korean brand products. First of all, box plot is used to determine if sign test is a good use to study the monthly expenses of USM main campus student. And from the graph, we can see that the graph is skewed, so we continue with sign test. There are a few assumptions we are made for the sign test. The sample available for analysis is a random variable from population with unknown median M. The variable of interest is measured on a least ordinal scale. The variable of interest is continuous. The n sample values are designated by x1, x2 until xn. So for the null hypothesis is median less than or equal to 31.42, and the alternative hypothesis is median larger than 31.42. Based on the mini-tech output, we have 11 out of 25 spent below 31.42 ringgit on Korean brand products, while 14 of them spent more than that. Since the p-value is 0.345, which is more than 0.05, H0 is not rejected, and we have sufficient evidence to conclude that the median of monthly expenses of USM main campus students on Korean brand product is not more than 31.42 ringgit. And we can know that the monthly expenses of students from USM main campus does not affected by the Korean wave. So again, sign test is used to determine the average time spent of students from USM main campus on Korean entertainment. And also box plot is used to determine if sign test is a good use. And the box plot show that the distribution is skewed. Therefore, we still can continue with sign test. Under the same assumptions as the sign test before, the hypothesis for this sign test is median less than or equal to 2 for null hypothesis and median larger than 2 for the alternative hypothesis. From the mini-tech output, we can see that 7 out of 25 respondents spent below 2 hours on Korean entertainment per day, and 14 spent more than 2 hours. And we get the p-value equal to 0.0950, which is more than 0.05. Therefore, H0 is not rejected, and we have sufficient evidence to conclude that the median of average time spent per day of USM main campus students on Korean entertainment is not more than 2 hours. So we can observe that the Korean wave does not affect the time spent pattern of USM main campus students.
I'm Lingy. Next, I'll be presenting the test for correlation. We want to study the effect of Korean wave on academic performance of USM main campus students. Based on the scatter plot here, it is obvious that the data are randomly spread out. However, the trend line is negative. Therefore, we decided to use Spearman rank correlation coefficient to test the relationship between the latest CGPA and their average time spent on Korean entertainment. The null hypothesis is there is no correlation between the latest CGPA and their average time spent. And then the alternative hypothesis is there's a negative correlation between them. So next, we will proceed to test statistic. In the table here, U is the rank of the I observation in average time spent on Korean entertainment, and V is the rank of the I observation in latest CGPA. Then D is U minus V. Then we square root the D, and at the end we sum out all the square root of D, and we plug in the value into the formula, and we find out that the correlation coefficient is equal to negative 0.0275. Then for this test, we use alpha equals to 0.05 and n equals to 25. Then from the sign test table, we find out that the critical value is equal to negative 0.336. So we will reject H0 if the RS is less than the critical value. Since we get the RS is greater than the critical value, therefore the H0 is not rejected. Therefore, there is insufficient evidence to conclude that there exists a negative relationship, which means there is no relationship between the average time spent and the latest CGPA. In conclusion, by using run test, we find out that the pattern of occurrence of the gender is random. And we use sign test tools, and then we find out that the median amount of the time on the Korean entertainment is less than or equals to 2 hours. We also use sign test and find out that median of the monthly expense is less than or equals to 31 ringgit and 42 cents. Lastly, we use Spearman rank correlation coefficient, and we found out that the Korean wave does not affect the academic performance of USM main campus students. That's all from us. Thank you.